Hello, everyone. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast, and I am your host, Chance Bowen. Today, Trump cancels meeting with congressional Democrats ahead of possible government shutdown. President Trump has called off the planned meeting with top Democrat leaders like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, meant to negotiate a stopgap funding bill. The federal government is at risk of shutting down after September 30th if they don't reach an agreement, per The Guardian. Now, this is interesting to me that Trump canceled the meeting. I mean, I know they had one set and something got him to cancel it. I wonder what it was. Maybe the Democrats maybe they're, thinking that their negotiating tactics are going to work with this administration, but Trump has been pretty strong about fighting them, so that is a good sign for us. Seems like the biggest thing they want is the Republicans want extra funding for security for federal agents, and they also want to they want to get rid of the Medicaid and medical cuts. And they think that politically they can pressure the Republicans in doing that. Republicans are rebuttaling with, "Hey, look, we always expand the health care, Medicaid, Medi-Cal through last minute, add-ons to the budget at the end of the year, and this will probably be no different from any other year. So it's not exactly going to be the exact cuts of what is in this bill." And so the Democrats and the Republicans are going at it. Pretty boring, really, right? Who cares? Trump shifts stance on Ukraine. Speaking at the United Nations General Assembly, President Trump said he now believes Ukraine can regain all territory lost to Russia since the 22 invasion. This marks a shift from earlier calls for Ukraine concessions. Wow, that is a big difference. I mean, he just said the other day that he was going to not back NATO and that he was going to work on relations with Russia. And now he's saying that he thinks Ukraine can win? Ooh, the military complex must have gave him a ring and said, "Hey, Trump, we got to make some money here." And Trump apparently is now going along with what they're telling him. It's going to be interesting. This ought to be good for all us people. World War III, that ought to be good. No doubt about it. The military complex is pressuring the Trump administration to double down on this Ukraine war because that's how they make money, guys. We all know that, right? Anyway, Antifa designated domestic terrorist organization. Trump has signed an executive order labeling Antifa as a domestic terror organization. The order follows conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination in Utah. The move is controversial and has already drawn criticism from civil liberty groups. The Democrats are reacting by saying, Antifa is just an abbreviation for anti-fascist. You're not anti-fascist, right? Like as if that's gonna Republicans are gonna see that and go, "Oh yeah, we don't want to be fascist." Like, you idiots. When you say to be anti-fascist and it's coming from you with blue hair, we don't believe you. You guys warn that message out. As soon as you say that, I almost want to go, "What is fascism? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it." No, just kidding. But it's interesting that this is the plan. This is like their whole media plan is to be like, let's label anti-fascist. Let's make anti-Antifa as like it's just an abbreviation for anti-fascist. Nobody's falling for that, guys. Anti-Antifa is different from anti-fascist. Yes, it's an abbreviation, but Antifa is an organized political group that seeks to attack people, like when they killed Charlie Kirk just a minute ago, right? I mean, come on. Be better at politics, Democrats. Come on. There's so many wars that are good and noble that you guys could be fighting right now. And you guys a lot of you are deciding to want to attack Trump for being fascist. Nobody believes you. The Democrats are just as fascist. Like, nobody believes you. Nobody. So, message to Democrats out there. You're welcome. Poll shows Republicans leading on crime, immigration, and the economy. A recent Washington Post survey found that Americans trust Republicans more than Democrats on issues of crime. 44% versus 22%. Immigration, 42%. Oh my God, people are blowing my phone up. It's driving me nuts. How do I turn this off? Golly. Let's see. I'll just redo this. Crime, 44% versus 22% on Republicans over Democrats. Immigration, 42% versus 29%. On handling the economy, 39% versus 32%. So not as big as a difference. These issues are increasingly central in public sentiment heading into the 2026 midterm elections, per the Washington Post. Does anybody believe polls, really? We all know they're paid. They have certain ways of doing it. You can probably find a poll of the reverse thing. So I just don't care about polls anymore. I mean, I know some are good, some are legit. Try to look at them and go, okay, it tells you something, but this is kind of just like just partisan goy slop, if you ask me. The biggest one is on crime, 44% to 22%. I mean, even if it was faked, you're not going to fake that big of a difference. And it's true. Democrats are soft on crime. They want to benefit criminals, whereas Republicans are typically for cracking down on crime, which is good. Ryan Routh, convicted for attempted assassination of Trump, a man. He has been found guilty on all counts related to the attempt assassination on Donald Trump at one of Trump's golf courses. So I don't know if you remember this guy, Ryan, good old Ryan. He is one of the guys who were real crazy, part of Antifa too as well, big left-leaning Democrat, went over to Ukraine to fight for Ukraine at the spark of the war. He tried to kill Trump at a golf course, and they convicted him for attempted assassination. So give him the death penalty, right? It's pretty funny. I'm seeing a lot of people say, we need the death penalty and stuff. And there's even one guy online that is a rapper. I wish I knew his name, but you probably know his name. I think it's like LL. I forget. He is pretty much made a rap song. He's from the South, and he made a rap song about hanging people that are doing bad things, right? And the left wingers pretty much got on there and pressured him and been like, this guy's racist. It's like, well, he never said black people. He just said hanging bad people. You just assume they're black. I think maybe the Democrats are racist. They're just assuming he's talking about black people. Isn't that kind of assuming that black people are all criminals? It's pretty bad. So anyway, he got pressured, and like a big old puss that he is, he took down the rap video. Sucked. Gotta double down on these guys. Who cares what they say? They're gonna call us racist no matter what. Okay? Did you get that? Charlie Kirk is being called a Nazi. Oh my gosh, the biggest criticism I had of Charlie is that he wasn't a Nazi. So, these people suck. And these polls by the Washington Post show that. So thank you for the Washington Post for doing that. Other news we got. So I watched the Candace Owen show about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Erica Trump follows Candace Owens on Instagram recently. Erica Trump is a Catholic. Candace Owen is a Catholic. Maybe they're going to do a joint venture together to uncover what's going on with the Charlie Kirk murder. And there's a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, whatever the official narrative is, we believe that because there's no facts and evidence. And I've looked at a lot of this stuff, and people are like, oh, there's a flash over here, and this guy in his shirt, and it looks like AI, and all this crazy stuff. And it just waters everything down and makes it look stupid. And Nick Fuentes kind of touched on that a little bit recently. I agree with him mostly on that. But the one bit of evidence that Candace is really onto, and there's a few, but this is probably the one that sticks out to me most. The coroner's office and the official report shows that Charlie Kirk, when he was shot, his bones were so thick like Superman that there was no exit wound. What? We all saw a bunch of blood squirting out of his neck. Everyone saw it. You're saying there was no exit wound? That's insane. That's insanity. And I don't know why they would even make that lie up. I think it's because they have the bullet and they wanted to show the type of bullet was matching the gun. And there's some discrepancies with that too, but they have to have the bullet, just like with RFK, right? It's JFK. I do that so much. I'm sorry. If you know me personally, you know I do that all the time. I'm sorry. JFK, they found the bullet on the gurney. We all know that that's bull crap. When a bullet hits something, especially bones and mass, it shreds. Even when you shoot a deer, anything. Okay. And they found the bullet in perfect tact on the gurney. Later on, we get the files released and we find out that bullet was all a sham, or at least people think that. Whereas now with this Charlie Kirk thing, we're getting this sham and people are believing it, even though we know that they've lied about for instance, the JFK assassination. We know now that they lied about that on multiple ways. The government lied to us. And now they think that Charlie Kirk is we're not getting lied about that. It's pretty funny. They just believe the official narrative. They believe every conspiracy theory that their evidence is shaky and there's receipts to prove things, but it's not all there. But then when it comes to the Charlie Kirk thing, they're like, nope, whatever the official narrative is, I believe it. This really kind of goes back into like when you're close to events, you typically believe the mass narrative, whereas the further away you get from events, the more the truth starts to actually come out. And this happens with like history too. It's like Genghis Khan. What did he do? He killed lots of people and he wrote history because he was the victor. And not everything he said was the truth. But at the time, everyone's like, no, what he said was the truth. He was an evil guy. He killed millions. But now you're able to like wear a Genghis Khan outfit for Halloween and like no one's like, oh well, yeah, cool. Genghis Khan's cool. He was a big like warrior and stuff, I think, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Whereas like with World War II, we're too close to that to where like you can't get the truth about that, right? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Anyway, so hopefully one day we will get the truth about that. I think today, the next generation coming up, we're starting to find out the truth about that incident. Same goes with the Charlie Kirk thing and the JFK assassination. We're finally getting the truth. With Charlie Kirk, everyone's going to believe the narrative, and then slowly we're going to get the truth. Thank God we have people like Candace Owens who are going on a tyrant about all these different instances and popularizing some of the discrepancies that are in the Charlie Kirk assassination. The number one being that exit wound. Everyone knows. Do you think, like I'm asking you right now, like you right now watching this, do you think that there was no exit wound with Charlie Kirk? Like, did you watch the video of him being shot? Like, that's madness. That's like absolute madness, right? So anyway, that is all for today. Oh, no, it's not. We also had a young Republican meeting yesterday. Went very well. We heard from Charles Sears, who talked about the insurance and pretty much the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, and pretty much how disastrous that made our healthcare and like how much it costs. And it is true. It's like we can't afford healthcare because they ruined healthcare for us and they enriched all of these different companies. So I may go into a little bit of that on next episode just to talk about like our insurance. I don't know. Let me know in the comments like what do you guys think? Is that pop like should I talk about that or is this kind of boring? It's kind of boring to me really, but it is interesting, like, we can't even afford healthcare in our own country. That's pretty bad, right? Anyway, this is the Paint the Town Red podcast. We hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll see you tomorrow. Rather, you'll see me. Bye.